Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about Captain America Brave New World. And we've got the mainstream media trying to predict how low this one is going to go in week 2. This is really interesting. This is definitely a change in attitude from where the mainstream media was just a couple of years ago. Remember, it was only the right-wing chuds who were rooting for the failure of Marvel. And really, I mean, look, were there people actively rooting for Marvel movies to fail? Yeah, there were. There definitely were, right? In Star Wars, and, just the list goes on and on. But the reality is that the general public has checked out from these movies largely. Now, that being said, Captain America Brave New World did do better last weekend, I think, than a lot of people were expecting. And the reviews weren't great, but apparently the audience score was pretty good, right? Or at least on Rotten Tomatoes. The Sim score was low, but I don't know how this one is going to do in week 2. And the fact that we have several major media outlets saying that they don't think it's going to do well in the second week is a pretty good indication that Marvel does not have the reputation or the protection of the media like it did a couple of years ago. That you're allowed to say, yeah, hey, we don't think this Marvel movie is going to do very good, and they're not going to call you a Nazi, right? Because at this point, you can't deny that Marvel is a damaged brand. It really is. I mean, $100 million last weekend, yeah, it's good, but it's not great. It's still less than Ant-Man, and it's still significantly less than the other Captain America movies. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I mean, we still have another couple of movies this year. I was kind of excited about Fantastic Four. I don't know how that one's going to go either. I'm going to be honest. I saw the action figure of Reed Richards, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to see Pedro Pascal's neck grow, 8 feet into the air. I mean, geez, man, it looks pretty cringy. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. All right, so this comes from The Wrap. Captain America Brave New World will try to avoid the box office fate of Ant-Man 3. We got that one, and then we got 9 Meters. It says that the second week decline is looming, and they're expecting possibly a 70% drop-off. Possibly. Again, we don't know. Depends on the word of mouth. Some people love it. Some people hate it. A lot of people, actually, most of the people I've talked to were like, it's passable, but it could have been on Disney Plus, right? Captain America Brave New World will try to avoid the box office fate of Ant-Man 3 in second weekend. Audiences have abandoned big budget films that get tepid early receptions. Is Marvel's latest the next on that list? Again, coming from The Wrap, an industry publication. $100 million 4-day domestic opening weekend for Captain America Brave New World would appear to signal a profitable theatrical run for the latest Marvel film. That is, if it weren't for the tepid reception that has come with it. With a solid but not spectacular 80% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score, and a more worrisome B- cinema score, and a 3 out of 5 general audience score on Post-Track, Brave New World is showing early signs of a big second weekend drop, similar to Ant-Man and the Wasp and The Marvels, both of which were also poorly received by critics and opening weekend crowds. So it could backfire. It could be like, yeah, they had a big weekend, and that's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, look, the biggest takeaway for me from this debacle is that the mainstream media is no longer protecting Marvel. They're no longer protecting Star Wars. It's okay to say these movies are declining. It's okay to say they spend way too much money on these movies, and what the hell are they doing, right? And that was not the case just 2 or 3 years ago. Like, you were not allowed to say anything negative about any Marvel movie or TV project or whatever and be like, yeah, this looks like dog shit. You could say that. You were a literal Nazi if you did, but now it's 2025 and people are like, yeah, Marvel's been in a bad place for a couple of years now. Exhibition sources tell The Wrap that Brave New World is currently tracking for these are theater people. Exhibition sources tell The Wrap that Brave New World is currently tracking for a similar second weekend drop-off, or a second weekend total of around 30 million, which would represent a 66% drop from its 3-day start. Quantummania opened to 106 million over the 3-day weekend portion of President's Day and dropped 70%. So they're speculating 66. Again, they, not a YouTuber, they, the industry professionals, right? The quote unquote industry professionals, they are speculating a drop off. This is not YouTubers pulling things out of their asses. If you like the movie, fantastic, good for you. But it doesn't change the fact that it looks like it's headed for a massive drop off. Prior to release, insiders at Disney said the studio believed Brave New World would have the fuel to reach 200 million domestic, but a 66% drop would make that goal a borderline prospect. The one big thing Brave New World has going for it is that it's by far the highest profile release of the first quarter, with the March release slate lacking another Dune level tentpole. Yeah, this is like the biggest movie until Snow White, but they're going up against that monkey horror movie, which a lot of people are talking about. So I don't know how it's going to go. Oh yeah, they said that means Captain America will have 2 more weekends of support from IMAX and other formats before ceding to Warner Brothers Mickey 17, a darkly satirical sci-fi film from Bong Joon-ho. I haven't even heard of this one. That's projected for an $18 million opening amidst very positive reviews from its Berlin Film Festival premiere. And there's the monkey. The monkey. Where's the monkey? Oh, yeah, the monkey. It's literally just called the monkey. Well, Brave New World tries to defy gravity. They're going to have Kneon, not me, is going to have the top new release of the weekend with The Monkey, the latest film from rising horror director Osgood Perkins. The film comes less than a year after Longlegs. Okay, so it's the Longlegs guy. Oh, yeah, it might actually do pretty good. Longlegs was horrifying, man. It was like legitimately unsettling. It wrote a chillingly effective digital marketing campaign to a surprising $22 million opening weekend in July and 126 million global total. And it was a cheap movie. I mean, it was made cheaply. I mean, the cinematography was fantastic, but it was like a low budget movie. The Monkey, they've been advertising the hell out of it. And I know all the TikTok kids are into The Monkey because my kids are talking about it constantly. They're like, this movie looks great. The Monkey is currently projected for a $17 million opening weekend from 3,000 plus theaters. And like that film, it's getting strong reviews, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, based on a Stephen King short. Okay, Monkey Shines. Is that what Monkey Shines was in the 80s? Based on a Stephen King short story and built around gruesome kill scenes and tongue-in-cheek black humor, The Monkey follow a pair of twin brothers who try to stop a mysterious toy monkey on a killing spree. That sounds like TikTok fodder. The Monkey comes at a time when theaters have been overloaded with horror films, Nosferatu, Wolfman, Companion, Hard Eyes. Yeah, and Longlegs was incredibly popular. I mean, I thought it was very unsettling. It's not a movie I'd probably watch again, but I can see why people like it. Lionsgate's going to have another religious movie, I guess, was it Kingdom Story Company's The Unbreakable Boy, based on an autistic boy diagnosed with brittle bone disease. So I don't think it's going to take out Captain America, but yeah, they're all saying they think it's going to drop like 70%. They said early projections suggest a daunting 67 to 70% drop. And is this me sitting here like, yeah, suck it, Disney. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, Disney fucked up, right? They fucked up Marvel. People aren't excited about these movies like they were before. I don't even think Fantastic Four is going to do super well, given that the last Fantastic Four movie was a massive box office bomb. I think people are, I personally think it looks really cool. I like the Jack Kirby thing for sure. I like the art style, but I just don't know if the general public is going to be like, God, this is the 3rd or 4th time that we've done Fantastic Four, right? It depends on what the next trailer is like. I think if people are going to be excited for it, and it actually comes out like a week after Superman. The marketing for that one's not been that great either. I don't know. But there it is. Like, I'm just ripping the damn Band-Aid off, guys. They're saying it's going to drop off. They're saying it's not going to be a huge hit when it's all said and done. And Marvel's in trouble, right? I don't even know at this point, like, is Secret Wars, is it gonna do it? Is Doomsday gonna do it? Can Robert Downey Jr. resuscitate Marvel or general interest in Marvel? I have no idea. I think it's going to be like any other franchise, legacy franchise. You pick and choose what you want to watch, right? And that's kind of how I'm at, or where I'm at right now with things like Star Wars and Star Trek or whatever. Like, I will dip into Star Trek. I'll watch, I watched Picard season 3. I watched Strange New Worlds for a while until they started singing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. But just as long as your expectations are on the floor, you're not going to be disappointed, I guess. Look, Marvel is not going to go back to where it was before anytime soon. It's just, I don't see it happening. It's going to take years to course correct. I mean, maybe they can reboot the whole damn universe with Secret Wars, do that. I don't know. I have no idea. But it just feels like end stage Marvel, M stage MCU at this point. They gotta do something, right? They gotta do something. But the one thing they're not going to do is rest it, because money. They need money. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.